Hello, my lovelies. It's Susanna, and today I want to show you how to solve this fractional equation. This is a fractional equation because our x is part of this denominator of this fraction. Here and also on the other side, the same thing, we have x in the denominator of this fraction. And every time this happens in your equation, then you are dealing with a so-called fractional equation. And usually before solving this equation for x, we should take a look at the domain of our equation, because the domain tells us which numbers we are allowed to insert for our x so that we don't get any mathematical issues. Because we don't know what x is, it could happen that we divide by 0 by accident, depending on what we insert for x. So the domain helps us with this. We have to find the domain first. Usually the domain consists of all real numbers, but then we have to exclude some of these numbers. Sometimes we have to check this if we have to exclude some numbers, but we are going to look for this now. To find these numbers that are not allowed to be inserted for our x, we have to examine the denominators of our equation. So we take our first denominator, the 2x minus 4, and set it equal to 0 to see when would this denominator be equal to 0. When would we divide by 0? Okay, let's solve this equation now for x. Then we can add 4 on both sides of the equation, so that we have 2x here. This cancels out, and on the other side we have a 4. To solve for x, we have to get rid of the 2 here, so let's divide by 2 on both sides of the equation. This cancels out, only x is left, and 4 over 2 equals 2. X equals 2. If we would insert 2 for our x here, we would divide by 0. So 2 is one of the numbers that is not allowed in our domain. And maybe there is some more, so we take the second denominator as well and see if we get some more numbers. We set it equal to 0 as well. And if we solve for x, we can just add 6 on both sides of the equation. Then we have x left, this cancels out, and on the other side we have a 6. So if x was 6, then this denominator would be equal to 0, and we would divide by 0. So our domain tells us you are allowed to insert all real numbers that you know, but not the 2 and not the 6. Okay, so now we are ready, with this knowledge in the back of our minds, to solve this equation now for x. Our goal is to get x out of this denominator and to get this x out of this denominator. We could get rid of this denominator because we have divided by this thing. So if we multiply both sides of the equation by this denominator, then we would get rid of it. But I wouldn't recommend doing this at the beginning, because I would first check if we could simplify these fractions a little bit. And maybe there is no denominator left to be multiplied with, so let us first check this. Let's start here with our left fraction. We check whether we can factor out some things. For example, here we have a 3 and we have a 6, so both of these numbers are divisible by 3, so we could factor out a 3 and see what happens. You usually never know what happens, so just try your best and see what you can do then. Okay, let's factor out a 3 out of this difference that we have here. If we take out the 3, only x is left, and here 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And in the denominator, here both numbers are divisible by 2, so we could factor out a 2 and see what happens. So let's take a 2 out of this difference here. So if we take out the 2, we only have x left, and 4 over 2 equals 2. And on the other side, what can we do here? Absolutely nothing, because we don't have things that are in here and in here. So we have to leave the x plus 2 as it is. And the same thing here, we cannot factor out anything. We have no common factors here. So we have to leave it as it is. But on the other side, what can we do here now? We have a product here, we have a product here. We can cancel this, and only 3 over 2 is left. And on the other side, well, nothing has changed so far, but we've won on the left side, so this is good already. And now that we've simplified our fractions, now we can take a look at the denominator where our x is in here and say, okay, I have to get x out of this denominator, so now I have to multiply by this denominator both sides. So I multiply by x minus 6 here, and the same thing on the other side. Let's multiply. We have x times 3 over 2, which equals 3 over 2x, and then we also have to multiply the negative 6 by 3 over 2, which is negative 6 times 3 over 2. On the other side, this cancels out, and only x plus 2 is what is left. Let's multiply here. 6 over 2 equals 3, so we have 3 times 3, which equals 9 in total here. And let's solve for x. We have a part with x here, another part with x here. Let's subtract x on both sides so that we get this x from here to the other side. 3 over 2x minus 1x, then we are left with 1/2 of x minus 9. And on the other side, this cancels out and only 2 is left. To solve for x, we add 9 on both sides of the equation so that we have 1/2 of x here. This cancels out, and on the other side, 2 plus 9 equals 11. To solve for x, we can multiply both sides of the equation by 2 here and here so that it cancels out here, and only x is left. 11 times 2 equals 22. We found a solution for our x, but we have to check whether this is a real solution. Is the 22 part of my domain? Yes, because only 2 and 6 were not allowed to play here with us. So 22 is fine. And if we want to write down the set of solutions, then it's the set consisting of the element 22, and this is our solution. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in one of our next videos. Take care!